There we go. We on?
Yeah.
And I hope for you that you have, friendships like that too. I have some friendships from college, same age as you, that are still some of my BFFs. So anyway, pretty cool. And I think we'll have fun this week. You're going to get some lecture from him, but we'll also, kind of do some activity type things. I want to start with two quotes, though, that are kind of the theme for where we're going. So I'm going to move this thing over. I write terrible, but you're going to have to see this. I should have done all this earlier. So today, you can almost forget most of the stuff I say if this is something that is embedded in your heart, okay? And it goes like this. Love God and do the right thing. I know my writing's terrible, but that's kind of it. Love God and do the right thing. The secret to it is the next one. And repeat daily for the rest of your life. If you do that, that's how it works. I'm speaking in Houston on Sunday at a massive mega church, and I'm talking about how do you finish well. And what's interesting is I'm thinking about people your age more than I am the old people, because when you start thinking about finishing well, you think about guys like Rick and me, old guys, because we're talking about how do you finish well. But when you're young, you don't think about it that much. But truly, if you kind of summarize some of the stuff you've been learning at Anchor House, and you learn to love God and do the right thing, and then you repeat it daily for the rest of your life, you're in a good place. I'll tell you about some people who weren't in a good place in a minute. The other one is a quote by John Wayne. How many of you know who John Wayne is? He's an actor. Oh, I'm amazed. Okay, put your hands up again. Okay, half of you. Okay, that's amazing. So John Wayne, the airport where I live in Orange County. Does somebody else live here in Orange County? You do. But you have a 949 number. Yeah, you know why? Huh? Where? Long Beach, okay, yeah. Awesome. My mom was the homecoming queen at Long Beach Wilson in a long, long time ago. This one is a quote by John Wayne. Life is hard. It's harder if you are stupid. This is my addition. That's my addition too. So this is a quote by John Ortberg. This is a quote by John Wayne. Don't be stupid. And pretty much that kind of summarizes where we're going, okay? I had an experience some time ago. I was speaking at an event, and Rick might have been at it. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. There were 7,000 youth workers there. And I was upstairs, and there was a band called Delirious, which was a big-time Christian band at the time. And I was with a guy named Mike Yaconelli, and I was with a guy named Doug Fields. Mike Yaconelli is 10 years older than me. He's now passed away. There's me, and then there's Doug, who's 10 years younger than me, a guy I had mentored. We're going to talk about mentoring today and finding mentors and being a mentor and all that kind of stuff later on. And Mike had been a mentor to me, and then I was kind of a mentor to Doug, and, interesting thing. Doug and I are now partners in ministry. We're doing a big marriage conference on Friday and Saturday morning in Boise, Idaho. And so we do a lot of stuff together. But the fascinating side was Doug threw to Mike and me, he said, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so? And it was kind of a Christian leader. And I looked at Mike, and Mike looked at him, and the guy had an affair, and he was not anywhere to be seen within the world of Christian leadership anymore. And I said, well, he kind of crashed. And he goes, oh. He goes, hey, what about so-and-so? He said, I was thinking about some other people that the kind of people that you would read, or the kind of people that you would get to know, who were leaders, older than you. And I said, well, he didn't do so well. It was all men that he was asking about. He didn't do so well. He really didn't put a lot of energy in his marriage, and his marriage was kind of failing, so he had to leave ministry in order to kind of pull his life together. I really respect that because he stayed married. He kind of semi-pulled his life together, but it didn't go great. He had a drinking problem. He would have been in Anchor House. He would have been somebody like you. He would have been people, I mean, that guy especially, he would have been somebody who would have spoken at Anchor House. But he crashed a little bit. And then Doug goes for one more, and it was another affair thing, and it was like, oh man, Doug, you're depressing me like crazy. But when I used to speak to students, one of the phrases I would say all the time, and they probably didn't catch it because they were like 16 back then, but I would say the decisions you make today affect you for the rest of your life. And to be honest, the decisions that you're going to make this year, this is like I mean, being at Anchor House for a year, a little less than a year, is an amazing experience because you have time to think, and a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, and pray, and get to know people, and be in community and all that, you'll never get this probably again like you have. And so it's a time for really extended growth. There's a guy who used to talk about retreats, and he said, or mission trips. He said, give me 2 weeks of mission trips or 2 weeks of retreats, and I'll give you more and better Christian education than a full year of Sunday school, which is totally true, right? So what you're on is, in some ways, you're on a retreat doing some mission stuff for all this time, and it's going to be good. But basically, the people who are going to make it, if we were going to look at you and go, where will you be when you're an old guy like me? Old girl, not like me, but an old girl like, somebody else. The question would be is if you love God and you do the right thing and you repeat it daily, you'll probably do just fine. It's kind of hard. Life is hard, and you know hardship. Some of you know hardship already. Some of you will know hardship. We all know hardship. We all have. We're either going through a thing. We're in. Right now we just went through something, or we're going to be facing something. Life is hard. It's harder if you're stupid. So don't be stupid. See. And anyway, those are cool things. So anyway, the conversation that I had back then at this conference sort of haunted me. And it haunted me because I realized that really good people like you and me could also make some really dumb decisions and watch their, families fall apart. And sometimes people like family, it was funny that, they were showing the picture of my 3 grandchildren because, really even, I'll talk to parents about this. I'll talk about it Wednesday night. I'm speaking to the parents here. And I'll say, hey, really good parents have kids who make poor choices. And we parents always think it's our fault, but it actually kind of isn't always the parents' fault. It's just people make, they're stupid. They make stupid decisions. So fast forward this a little bit. I had this experience, kind of an aha for me. I got a phone call from my doctor, and he said, and like I never go to the doctor because I'm like Mr. Healthy or whatever, and he said, Jim, you need to come in this afternoon and bring your wife. That's never a good thing when they say and bring your wife. I'm thinking about what not that she's your wife, but I'm thinking about your thing. So the guy comes in, he has no bedside manner whatsoever, and he just said, okay, so you got cancer, and we're going to have to get you to the City of Hope, which is kind of the premier cancer center in Los Angeles. And we need to get you there, and you need to get surgery. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, let's slow down here a little bit. I go, I want to be able to, I do a speaking season. So this Sunday is the end of my speaking season until January 10th. And so, I kind of do a speaking season where I kind of, doing a lot. And I said, I'd like to finish my speaking season. And he goes, that's not going to happen. I'm like, oh, okay. Basically, the doctor was saying, you're not telling me what to do. I'm telling you what to do. Go get taken care of. So the night before cancer surgery, and I'd been at City of Hope all day doing tests and all this kind of stuff. They make you sign, if you die, it's not our fault, all those kind of things. And I woke up in the middle of the night. We were staying at a hotel because I had a 5:30 call to get to the doctor or to get the surgery. And I woke up and I thought of the weirdest poem. I don't know if any of you were taught this. It's still kind of famous. I didn't know it was famous, and I don't know if I ever learned it. I surely didn't learn it from my parents because I wasn't raised in a church. But if I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Does anybody know that thing? It's kind of gross to teach like a 4th grader, if you die before you wake, that kind of a thing. But I kind of thought about that, and I thought, what would I want to do? If I was going to die on the operating table, I didn't think I was going to. My mother-in-law did, because she told Kathy